Hey guys, salut, it's Alex. So super excited today because we are making homemade ramen noodles from scratch at home. DIY, how to do it. This episode is part of my instant ramen addiction series. I have this love-hate relationship with ramen noodles. I mean, I love them, but they hate me. I mean, they're not that good for me. So I'm on a quest to build my own instant ramen noodle soup. Before we can make loads of, instant noodles, we need first to nail a proper homemade noodle recipe, which, by the way, are not pasta. Does that make sense? Never. Pasta is pasta, right? Wrong. They are made from the same main ingredients, like wheat and water. If you ever had both of them, you know deep inside that they taste so much different. Ramen noodles have this distinctive taste, like slightly bitter and a bit astringent, but most importantly, that very specific texture. Like they are more chewy, they are more springy, they are more shiny, and also they are quite slippery. I can't waste them. So what's the secret? Well, real noodle makers use what is called an alkali or basic solution. Nah, it's not a Japanese word, just... okay. Super quick liquids can be qualified with the pH scale. So between 0 and 7 liquids would be acidic, lemon juice, chlorhydric acid, 7 would be neutral, and between 7 and 14 liquids would be qualified as alkali or basic. Lye, bleach, that way. Yummy. So yeah, food-wise, it does sound very wrong, but trust me, there are loads of food out there which makes good use of alkali solutions, like tortilla, bagels, cured olive. And so to make those ramen noodles, the traditional method calls for kansui, also called lye water. If the pH value of that stuff is around 11 to 12. The only problem is that it's really hard to find. So instead we're gonna use a very common thing, baking soda, as known as sodium bicarbonate. Super available, it's not too strong, and in fact many people out there already use it to make ramen noodles. In a bowl I am adding about 100 grams of water, and then I'm gonna dilute that bicarbonate of soda. I mean, I'm basically looking to saturate the solution, meaning to make it as powerful as possible, just to see how far we can go. I want to know the pH value from that stuff. Well, luckily for us and as a good geek, I have something to figure out. So it's called pH paper, and it changes color according to the pH value. Fun story, I remember the day I bought that stuff. I thought it would be completely useless, like I would never use that in a million years. Well, here we are. It's not a 7, it's not a 9, yeah, probably an 8. So I would say good news, we have a basic solution, but quite a bad news, because this stands quite far away from what we need to get, like at least 11 in terms of pH, so it's not gonna work. Let's just find something else, and if I need to use bleach, then I'm gonna use bleach. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, it depends. Would it work? There must be a way. There is obviously a way to do it. Oh, okay. I found that article in the New York Times, which claims that if you bake baking soda, you will just turn it into a more powerful alkali. So I say we give it a test. So I've got 300 grams of baking soda or sodium bicarbonate. Bake those in the oven at about 150 for around an hour. So basically, by baking the baking soda or sodium bicarbonate, we are turning it into sodium carbonate plus water and carbon dioxide. My baking soda is a bit whiter now. I have lost about 1/3 of its weight. Keep this into an airtight container so that it doesn't absorb any moisture anymore. Warning, when using that stuff, please wear eye protection and gloves. Yeah, safety first. Oh, wee! It's much better. I would say this stands between a 10 and probably an 11. So if you ask me, that is some decent kansui knockoff right here. Yeah. Dancing with it is probably not the best idea. Okay, flour now. At the end, the noodles will have to be resistant in order not to turn into mush. And when it comes to those, resistant usually is brought by gluten, you know, that inner mesh structure. I'm thinking of two solutions. The first one would be to use my go-to bread flour. It's a high protein, strong flour. There is a slight difference here. If you need a crash course on flours, I made a dedicated episode within my sourdough series. And the second option would be to use like all-purpose flour with the addition of a bit of gluten. So in a clean bowl, you want to add about 250 grams of flour, 100 grams of warm water, 3 grams of salt, 2 grams of sodium carbonate. And you just add this mixture to the flour. Oh, yellow. Western dried pasta are yellow because of the type of wheat, durum wheat. On the other hand, ramen noodles are made with common wheat, which flour is white but turns yellow when it comes into contact with an alkali solution. However, it's never gonna be like a punchy, in-your-face golden hue. Nah, it's more likely to be a pale but, you know, natural tint of yellow. I mean, do not worry if the dough looks a bit rough. All the kneading process is gonna take place during the next step. Where is it? A pasta machine. I mean, what's left of my pasta machine. So basically you want to start on the thickest setting and then we will make it thinner. So no panic attack. At first it looks like nothing, but as time goes by, you will get something. The dough is really smooth and soft. I am aiming at a thickness of 2 millimeters. And next you want to turn those into beautiful noodles. Oh wow. On the bowl a bit of rice flour. And you just want to lightly dust them. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Look at this beauty. I'm not gonna pretend to be modest. I'm so proud of myself. And now it's time for a well-deserved tasting session. Of course, there still is a long way to go if we want to turn those beautiful noodles into instant ramen noodles, but I'm gonna keep that for the next episode, and also I'm gonna give you the perfect excuse to subscribe to my channel. Oh la 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 la. Oh là là, la beauté du truc. Les nouilles d'une splendeur absolue. Slightly chewy, dense, but quite soft. You can immediately feel this is good stuff. This is not, you know, harsh for the body. It's just soothing for the soul. Yeah, a quick word from the future. This is me like 30 minutes later having another bowl of ramen, this time with all-purpose flour. It's not being greedy, it's just being, you know, thorough. I don't know exactly what makes those a bit more ramen-y than the one I made with bread flour, which were super good, but this is just like a bit more addictive. I love these, I love these. The addiction is kicking back. Soya! Well guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this episode. So as I told you, the next episode is gonna be on how to turn those beautiful fresh noodles into dry and pre-cooked instant noodles. I will also make further episodes about the broth, the toppings, the different versions of ramen. You know what, you can use the comment section down below and just let me know exactly what you want to see in this homemade ramen series. So as always, a big thank you to all of you out there for your support and your love, and a special thanks to all my friends over on Patreon. Take care guys, bye bye, salut.